There's a bull and a cow in every relationship. Ben Affleck appears to have a fascination for girls named Jennifer, since he has renewed an old relationship with a recently divorced Jennifer Lopez. How will the Dark Knight be able to embrace the light for the second time? Curious. So, stay tuned to the conclusion to hear Ben Affleck's thoughts on Jennifer Lopez. This is why. In the early 2000s, Ben Affleck was unquestionably the it pair. You can even ask an older cousin or sibling about them, and they'll tell you everything you need to know. But just in case they forget, here's a refresher. The early 2000s opened the way for several of the all-time best romantic comedies, including Bride Wars, Legally Blonde, Bridget Jones's Diary, and The Princess Diaries, in what was undoubtedly the holy grail of romantic comedy. Despite this, none of the films feature our scenes. Both Jennifer and Ben were rising Hollywood actors when they met in the set of Jiggly, a 2003 rom-com about mobsters, kidnapping, sexual confusion, a broken thumb, and of course, love. But the movie was considered one of the most expensive box office bombs, as it had only grossed a total of $7.2 million despite its $75.6 million budget. Yikes. The movie was highly publicized and had tons of media coverage, but one good thing that came out was that it was one of the reasons for the budding romance between the two leads, Affleck and Lopez. So, despite the fact that the film was a flop, it proved to be fruitful, particularly in terms of a kindling romance. Jennifer was still married to ex-husband choreographer Chris Jett at this time, and they were one of Hollywood's shortest-lived celebrity marriages. Ben and Jennifer made their romance public as soon as the divorce was finalized. According to reports, J.Lo's initial impression of Affleck was, "Sometimes I feel that what you think people are and how you view them when you love them is different from what they reveal later," and thus was the beginning of the infamous Ben Affleck coupling. Following that, the two made multiple public appearances, where they were all lovey-dovey, and Affleck made a cameo in J.Lo's legendary music video, Jenny from the Block, which made all the fans swoon. J.Lo was wearing a hot pink bikini and sunbathing with Ben Affleck, who was wearing a white tank top. The scene ended with Ben having fun with J.Lo's bottom. Scenes in the song video also represented how well documented Ben and Jen's relationship was. Jenny, I guess, was displaying her ring around the block when the pair announced their engagement in November 2002. In an interview with Diane Sawyer, the songstress revealed a gorgeous pink ring that was a 6.1-carat pink diamond from Harry Winston and cost a hefty $2.5 million. If you think that's fast, well, it's about to go in reverse because, in September 2003, they announced that they postponed their wedding and ultimately their relationship. Ben Affleck's separation hurt not just them, but many adoring followers all around the world. Enough emotional pain. But you know what they say: if it's true love, it'll find its way back to you. Let's see if that's true, shall we? According to page 6, one of the reasons they split up was because, despite their ardent love, they weren't heading in the same direction when it came to their relationship's future. Jennifer was ready to settle down and have kids, but Ben wasn't ready to give up his bachelor lifestyle just yet. The insider continued. Even though it pained her heart to end things, she became tired of waiting for him to come around in the end. Are these two madly in love with one another? According to more insider reports, Ben Affleck is still going strong and appears like she'll be around for a long time. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are a match made in heaven, according to a Hollywood insider, who claims that J.Lo has finally met someone who truly loves her for who she is and that Ben wants to safeguard what they have. They want to do everything they can to make this work, a Lopez insider said, adding, even though their breakup many years ago was traumatic for Jennifer, she has never said a harsh word about Ben. According to additional insiders, the two lovers have also been spending more time with one another's children. Lopez's 13-year-old twins, Em and Max Muniz, with ex-husband Mark Anthony, and Affleck's daughters, Serafina Affleck, 12, and Violet Affleck, 15, with ex-wife Jennifer Garner. The Lopez source shared that the twins have been warming up to the actor, telling the outlet, Em and Max are on board with starting fresh in LA. Lopez and Affleck first met in 2001 on the set of the rom-com Jiggly and began dating in 2002. They got engaged later that same year, but postponed their wedding just days before it was scheduled to take place because of last-minute qualms and privacy concerns. The two eventually called off their engagement altogether in January of 2004. Following both Affleck's break from Ana de Armas in January and Lopez's well-publicized split from Alex Rodriguez months later, rumors of the stars' revived romance began to swirl in April. She and Affleck have since been photographed on romantic getaways to Montana and Miami, as well as long-distance visits to their respective LA and Miami homes. Affleck was recently photographed house searching with Lopez in Los Angeles, fueling speculation about their plans to move in together. Lopez is resolved to stay discreet in chats about Affleck, despite the fact that they flaunt their PDA in a shameless excess. Co-host Hoda Kotb mentioned in a recent Today Show interview that Lopez appears to be very pleased in images with the actor, prompting Lopez to reveal further details. The song is out 5 years after we did it, Jada Lo said, skillfully redirecting the topic back to the subject of her new benefit duet with Lin-Manuel Miranda. Love make the world go round. And I feel that the message of loving one another, coming together, and loving one another has never been more relevant than it is now. You see, she said jokingly. She jokingly added, "You can call me. You have my number." What's the ecstasy of Bennifer? It doesn't matter whether Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez are really rekindling their relationship or not. Their storied affair offers solace to a generation in need of celebrity nostalgia. You can tell a lot about a person based on which celebrity news prompts all of their friends to text them links along with something like, "OMG, did you see this?" We coined the term Bennifer for this phenomenon a few years later. It's hard to believe that using a portmanteau to describe a celebrity couple was once considered new, or that it took 2 years for someone to come up with one. But Ben and J.Lo were so iconic together that they manifested it. This premise was thrown on its head by tabloids that were far more cruel and unrelenting at the time than they are now. According to them, Bennifer didn't only inspire nonstop publicity. She created it with the help of fame-hungry narcissists. Furthermore, Ben was an imbecile, misled by a seductress who was destroying his career by association due to sexism and racism. This is exactly what the Jenny from the Block video was about. But as a teen girl, I was too wrapped up in the glamour of it all to give a shit. I was not about to let the fact that my heroes met on the set of the so-called worst movie of all time or were possibly fame-hungry maniacs get in the way of lusting over looks like this, which to this day holds up as the epitome of early aughts sartorial excellence. It may seem ludicrous today, but Bennifer represented the promise of notoriety to me as a young girl before I realized what a shallow and bankrupt industry it is. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez had everything: skill, good looks, money, and above all, a compelling story. Even for normal couples, a solid origin story is crucial. But when you spend your life creating stories, it's critical. Ben was a tall, dark, and gorgeous all-American boy from Boston, ready to become the generation's leading man. Jennifer was a stunning young woman from the Bronx with Puerto Rican parents who had already established herself as one of the world's most successful triple threats. Even though they were two of the most famous people on the globe, one could imagine them at a baseball game in jeans and t-shirts, legitimately bickering, and then having mind-altering makeup sex over whose hometown teen was better. Do you think their sources are again wrong and will finally see a benefit wedding shortly? Leave your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thanks for reading. That's all for today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and turn on the post notification for more lit videos from us. As always, see you in the next video.